Hello and welcome back to the channel. We're having another review of VECYS Car Refrigerators. This one looks a little beaten up, but well, I did a full in-depth review, so I want to tell you today what I think about this one, what you can get from VECYS, because I did already one review. As well, this one is not sponsored, but they gave this unit for free to me, so I want to make you aware of that. But I want to just give you a brief overview what this one is. I feel like you don't need to see my face for what I'm going to show you here, but just in case you miss me. Those are my knees, by the way, my shoes. Lovely Birkenstocks, different brand, but anyways. We want to talk about a VECYS. It's a 35-liter car refrigerator, and it does come with two cables, and I did already, so this is not an unboxing video, so I unboxed everything. It does come with a normal power plug for your normal AC outlet or outlet at home when you want to plug it in, but it also comes, as it says the name already, as a car refrigerator, so it does come with a cigarette lighter and also with the power plug here. So the first negative point, which I think is very annoying, is where to plug in the power, which is just a little uncomfortable. It works still, but it's not the most pleasant, to be very honest. And therefore, I'll turn it around a little bit, and here you can see that it's right here. I will plug in the power one. When it's heavy, it's very difficult to plug it in. It still works to plug in, so you'll get the drill. I'm using my little power station, plugging everything in and turning on. And I also want to show you how much power it will need when it starts to cool down first time. So let's say you just plugged it in and you want to start cooling it down. And here are the numbers. I don't know if you can see it, it's at the moment 34 degrees. It might increase a little bit more. This fridge has a left and a right side, and you can change the settings. So you can set one temperature more to freezer and the other more for fridge temperature. So right now, here it's pretty hot in Los Angeles at the moment. So yeah, now we got to the point where it shows, I know it's hard to read, but it's 57. It's 57.5 watts. So around 57 watts when it starts from the beginning cooling down. Now we can take a look closer inside. As long as it cools down. I want to give you a little bit of reference. So that means when I open it up, it's on one side. You can open it up. What you can see is that there's a little wire. I would say it's a wire. Feels like a little small wire. Just holds the lid from falling back. And then there are two, or at least it looks like two cooling areas. And it's divided by a little sector which you can take out, a little middle piece. And from here, to give you the most possible reference, oat milk and Modella. And then there's a little more space over here. So that being said, oh, by the way, there's also a drain plug down here on one side. It's pretty common, pretty nice to have. And then you can just close the lid again. When you close it, you can push it down and then it snaps in place. So that's pretty nice to have. That at least holds pretty well. When you look at the sides in the meantime, when it cools down, we have on this side a handle which folds together like this, which is nice for carrying and also for pulling, because the wheels are on the other side. Of course, when you walk around this side, here we have some air vents which need to be open and there needs to be space, and also we have the same here on this side. And we have a little smaller handle over here. And when we look at the wheels, you see the power supply, there are the wheels, the little rubber, which is nice. They rock a little bit back and forth, so I hope they will last pretty long, I don't know. We'll let it sit a little bit so it can cool down more. You can see the left side starting to get cool at 61 quicker than the right side. So we'll just let it sit and then we'll come back and look at it. In the meantime, it's cooling down more and more. It's probably just 4 minutes later, so it's like 40 degrees Fahrenheit on the left, and the right is 72. And when we look at the power consumption, which is still very important to me, it still says 60.6, or yeah, around 60 watts. So you can do the math yourself, so you understand how much power you will need. And yeah, for sure, you can power it with one of those little power banks, like the one I have, go for it. You can also get a bigger one, better one, because this one really, I tried using this one for this unit and overnight, and it was pretty damn empty on the next day. So one of those, what is it, 330 watts in total? It's not a lot. You can do the math yourself. We do have the noise level of, what is it? They say it's about 45 decibel. I agree, it's not very loud. I slept in the same room with this one as well. It worked well. I was not complaining about it. It kicks in the refrigerating mode, so it cools down when there's a difference, what was it, between 48 degrees or something like that. Then it starts to kick in again to maintain the same temperature. But other than that, it's something, you know, it kicks in and then stops. It's something, when you have a very light sleep, you will hate it. For me, it was not a problem. And by the way, the freezer section is, in quotes only, it's only 18 liters from the entire 35 liters, but it's about a half, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, you cannot use the entire unit for freezing. You can just use a section of it for freezing. You can change here with the display also to Celsius if you want to. I did the same with the small fridge. I'm not doing that now. You can turn it on, turn it back off. What's unfortunate, the display remains on the whole time. So if the display over here, we do have different information displayed here as well. Here on top is the M for medium, a L for low, and an H for high. This refers to the battery when you have a battery connected, 12 volt or 24 volt battery connected with DC power. So you can set the cutoff earlier or later depending on your battery technology. Then we have left and right, which I said already, this is in Fahrenheit, refers to the right and left side of the cooling area. And then we have down here a max, which means it tries to do the maximum cooling possible, so it pulls the most power that it can cool down as quickly as possible. And then we have a battery symbol over here, which is at the moment pretty useless for having it connected to the wall power outlet. It doesn't make sense because it's always full and there's enough power. When it's connected to a 12 or 24 volt battery, for example, it's a totally different game. And it would show here also how much power is left, but take it with a grain of salt, because I guess this is just the default, and depending on the low, medium and high a little bit, I guess. And then of course we have everything can be configured with the power here, with the buttons power off over here, and then the setting over here, and then up and down. That's pretty simple. So yeah, there's not a lot of things to do right or wrong. I would say it's pretty simple, and that's pretty much all. It got already a couple scratches because it was stacking stuff on top, but it was able to handle it. I mean, you can still read everything. It's a couple scratches, maybe you can see, but it doesn't matter. That's what you use it for, right? But honestly, I think it's great to have a car fridge. I love it. And I was using it in Jeep mainly, and there was still plenty of space, so I went for a mountain bike trip to Utah. It was incredibly hot, but it did a job amazingly, so I stopped a couple of times, was able to get cool drinks, put some fresh drinks in as well, and cool them down over time. It just worked out very well. Maybe another thing I should mention is, according to the website, at least on Amazon, it says it needs about 45 watts. Right now we're running it with 50 watts. It's probably getting closer to the temperature which it should be. I think it's around 35, 36 I set it for both sides. So it reduces the power. So that's something which it adapts. It's set online as well, it looks like, but it should be around 45. So I would assume that's kind of the economy usage. I'm running it on maximum right now because it's just at home, you know. But keep it in mind. You might want to play around with that in case you want to get one of those units. And I think it's a good thing. I will be curious how long it lasts, since the wheels are, you know, I can push it in. You know, they were a little wobbly, but hopefully they will make it the rubber, which is nice. I like that. So they're quiet when rolling around. And most important, does it cool down? It does. That's what I really like. So my stuff is cool inside. I think it's a great product. It's the same display like it was with the smaller version of the VECYS. This one is the CR35, 35 liters. It comes with split zone, which is really nice, and I really like, because you can have on the one side more freezer stuff and on the other side more normal fridge stuff. In my opinion, it worked well so far. What I really like is for sure the wheels. So you can just pull it and take it wherever you want to have it. I had it in my Jeep in the back, made it accessible so you can always open and close it. I was able to plug it in and charge it from the car when I was driving. So when you have a 10-hour trip, amazing, because it's continuously plugged into a source. As soon as you stop and as soon as it doesn't have power, it just is like a normal ice chest. So if you don't plug it in, you know how it works. Long story short, it's cool and nice to pull behind you as long as it's not sand. Size-wise, I'll put all the information in here somewhere. Whoop. And there's also a video about, by the way, about the smaller version I have, just in case you're interested in terms of size comparison. Other than that, what I didn't like is, I don't know why did they put the power, or you put in a power cord down here, very difficult accessible. You cannot go for stroll with that when you have plugged it in, obviously, but it doesn't make sense. A nice little unit. You can use it with a power bank or without power bank, or you can use it at home and pre-cool it and then put it in the car and then just plug it into the car and continue from, you just continue having your stuff cool. And then when you get to, for example, a hotel, you just take everything out. You just carry it or roll it into your hotel room, and then you just plug it in the wall outlet, and great. So that's very nice and very refreshing. So this can also act as a second or party fridge or whatever. Pretty small, but it works. And it also gets cold pretty quick. So that is very nice. Left side 34, and right side is 58. I have it set to the same temperature, by the way. I didn't have it set to freezing here today. But overall, it's, I think, a nice unit. I think I said everything, the dimensions and everything else. I put in the link in the description. You can find as well in case you want to get one of those units as well. And there's a special discount at the moment because the manufacturer want to sell the smaller units as much as I remember. It's summer, so it's worth it. In case you're looking for something bigger, follow the link. It's also, you can find it. And so far, VECYS was, for me, pretty good. So thanks for watching, I would say. And we're done with this today. Tschüss!